Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's song is Always by Bon Jovi. This one's in the key of E major, so we have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp and D sharp. Now this one is an accompaniment piece, so it is for singing. So I've done the proper intro as well as the chords. Some inversions are used, so it's a little bit more complex than the others, but certainly worth a go. So I'll start with the intro in the right hand. So we're going to have an E first, G sharp, B and E. Then I want you to move your right hand up to a root position of E and play F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. Then come down to an A position. We're going to do an add 9. So we need A, B, C sharp, E. Beautiful chord. Hold that for the bar. Then stay in position, just drop your thumb. So you're doing a sliding motion, get rid of the B, slide your thumb to G sharp. Now this will be a C sharp minor second. Back up to the original position, play the same notes as before. F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. Now we're going to come back and land on the A9 again, but we're now going to do eighth notes. So this is the first beat, and then we're going to do B and C sharp. So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the same for another bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'll play the right through again. Okay, now I'm going to add the left. So, E octave, hit on the first E first. Move up. Now when you reach your A, hit it again. A, add 9, lift your octave or play a singular note A. Now when you slide your thumb to G sharp and create the C sharp minor second, move your left to C sharp. Back into position for your notes. When you hit the A, move to B octave. When you move to the A9, move down to A. Now we're going to hold it down on the first beat, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I'll go through again. So there we have the intro. Now, what I thought I'd do with the verses, I'll show you what the chords are, and then I'll talk about improvising. So, depending on your level, you can just hit the chord and hold these chords for either a whole note or half note or quarter note. They'll be shown on the screen. Then, if you prefer, you can syncopate. So, it's not for everybody. Sometimes it's easier to get the chord first, and then what will happen naturally is you'll start adding in different rhythms to match the song. So, we have a C sharp minor 9. C sharp, D sharp, E, and G sharp. I'm going to put the left with it straight away. C sharp octave. So for now, I'm going to hold the chords. That'll be a whole note. It's a whole bar. Drop your hand down to a B9. B, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp. Drop your hand to a B. Go down again to an A9. You can hear that beautiful sound just by adding that 9. What a difference that makes. Then on the fourth bar, we need a G sharp minor 7. So we're going to drop our thumb a whole step, which creates the 7. Okay, we have F sharp, G sharp, B, D sharp. Okay, move this to G sharp. Now, you could just hold the chord. I'll talk about the syncopation later. You'll see the repeat. So that's, you could hold for 4, come back around again. First chord for 4, the second bar, B9. The third bar. This time you're still going to go to that chord, but you're going to hold it for 2. Then an A root, get rid of the 9 for a quarter, and a B root, get rid of the 9 for a quarter. Otherwise it'll be too heavy. So that's leading into the pre-chorus. So I'll play that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, B9, 2, 3, 4, A9, 2, 3, 4, G sharp minor 7, 2, 3, 4, come back, 2, 3, 4, B 9, 2, 3, 4, A 9, 2, 3, 4, G sharp minor 7 for a half, and then 3, 4. So that's the verse, but I'll show you what I mean by syncopation. So. To improvise. Now, I didn't move away from my chord, so feel free to do the rhythm that fits, okay? So you can add in the drum beats, just feel into it. You're the one singing it, so you can hold it. It's very pretty either way, but it will be good to get used to adding in syncopated beats when you know that you're in the right position. You could break the chord. The difference that makes. Now, you'll have freedom with it. As long as you're on that chord position I've given you, it will work. Okay, so I'll play the verse to speed. I'll add the syncopation. So that's the verse. Any questions, as always, just send me a message. Pre-chorus, start with the same chord, C sharp minor 9, hold it. B root, don't play the 9, so get rid of the C sharp. Change this to D sharp. So what's happening is the 9 we had here, we're putting in the left. Okay, that creates a split chord. A root, don't add the 9, put an E octave in your left. So they're all one chord per bar, so whole notes. Then we reach B for a half, then A for a quarter, and B for a quarter. Play that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, B over D sharp, 2, 3, 4, A over E, 2, 3, 4, B, 2, A, 3, B, 4. Okay, so that's the pre-chorus. I'll play that to speed. So now we're at the chorus. So with the chorus, different inversion this time. E second, B, E, G sharp. I'll put the left with it as we go. So an E second over an E, whole bar. Now B root, B, D sharp, F sharp over B. Now, if you want, don't have to, you can hold this. We can add in those little wart notes that you can hear. So it's like the beginning of the song. So if you practice the beginning, you'll have that anyway. That will be your best position, okay? I'll do that bit again. So 1, 2. Then we're going to do F sharp minor first. A, C sharp, F sharp over F sharp, whole bar. C sharp minor for a half. B root for a half. Back to the E second. B root with the B again. Add it if you want. Now, land on A major, A, C sharp, E. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if you want to, or just hold the chord for 4. Now, C sharp minor again, but a second inversion. G sharp, C sharp, E over C sharp, half. B root for a half. Now the next section, even though it seems like the same, it's the interlude. So I'll just play this chorus to speed, then I'll talk about that next section. It's important to separate it due to the order of the song that you play, especially when you're doing the repeats. Okay, I'll play the chorus to speed. I'll add a bit of syncopation, but you'll see on the screen, if you see one chord in the bar, it's a whole. If you see two, they're two halves. If you see the individual notes, you'll see it broken anyway. If that's too tricky, you hold the chord, especially the B, because it only happens in B, for a whole. But I will add the syncopation. Now we have the interlude. E second again, whole bar. B root over F sharp, whole bar. A root over A, whole bar. B for a half, A for a quarter, B for a quarter. Then we go to C sharp minor second. Then you can jump up and add the notes again. And then back to A. Okay, I'll play that interlude to speed. Okay, so from here, repeat the verse, no changes. Repeat the pre-chorus, no changes. Repeat the chorus, no changes. Don't do the interlude. Okay, and then we hit the bridge instead of the interlude, which is a completely separate section. Now we have a D second. So we need A, D, and F sharp. I'll put the left octaves. As I always say, if an octave is too hard to reach, you go with a lower singular note. It's not a problem. This just adds a bit of depth. Okay, it's not essential. So we have a D second, whole bar. G first. Now keep the D. Move your thumb to B and then put G at the top, move to a G octave or singular note. Half. Then we're going to do an A sus. So normal A major is A, C sharp, E. Raise the middle note up, it's a suspended chord for a quarter, and whatever suspends must, well basically what goes up must come down. You'll see the repeat between. D second for a whole bar. G for a half, A sus, A. Then we're going to do a B minor first, or a root, it's up to you. B, F sharp, B over B, half. Slide into an A first inversion, C sharp, E, A, but keep the B for the other half. Beautiful. G first, this is the next bar, whole. Slide back to the A first, move your left to A, do two whole note bars. Okay, so I'll talk about that again. So the bridge has the repeat between, and then once you've done that, you continue to the B minor first, A first, G first, two more A first. So I'll play the bridge to speed. Now you saw that I syncopated that. As long as you are counting in the bar, if you see one chord in the bar, you can count to 4, you can syncopate it however you like, but you've just got to make sure, obviously that B minor to A first is half and half, the G first is a whole bar, and so are the A first at the end, they're a whole bar each. Okay, so that's the bridge. Then we reach the instrumental. Now, obviously you're not a guitarist, or maybe you might be, so all I've done is given the chord progression and improvise how you like. Break the chord, do singular notes. It doesn't have to be exactly what the guitar plays, even though I could certainly give you that. It's too tricky to add that to this type of version of the song. So I'll give you the progression. E second is a whole bar. You can play along with the song though. B root. F sharp minor first. They're all wholes. Get to this. C sharp minor is a half. B is a half. Back to E second. B over F sharp, whole, a whole, C sharp minor half, B as a half. Okay, so I'll play it and I'll syncopate it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you saw that I broke the notes up, I played some block chords, I left a bit of space with resting. Best thing to do though, if you're a beginner to this, these aren't C, F and G chords, so it's a little bit more complicated. Just do the chord progression first, and then once you can hear it or play along with the song as whole notes and half notes, then you can syncopate. Then we have the pre-chorus, but it's number 2. It's different to the original pre-chorus. Now this is where ain't no luck, that bit, which is completely separate again. So we have A root, A, C sharp, E over A, whole bar. B root, whole bar. A root again, but over C sharp. Now this next bar, they're all quarters, so it's quite a quick change. B root, so you've got your B, D sharp, F sharp, over D sharp. E first, G sharp, B, E. A root, B root. Now you can slow up, it slows up in the song, but they are quarter notes. So you're going from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll play that pre-chorus number 2 to speed. Okay, now from here, you repeat the chorus and you repeat the interlude, but you'll see on the screen you have to stop at a certain point. You stop after the B, if you can see the asterisks on the screen. So it's the same up to there. Don't do the C sharp minor with the trilly bit. It goes on to do an outro basically. So I'll give you what the outro is. Once again, improvise or hold it. I'm going to hold them this time. So E first, G sharp, B and E. Do a B second because you're already in this position. So you're going to open up your hand like this and have F sharp and D sharp and move this to B. Then swing to a C sharp minor second, G sharp, C sharp, E, half, B, half, A for a whole. I'll show you that again. E first, 1, 2, 3, 4, B second, 2, 3, 4, C sharp minor second, half, B half, land back on your A. So what happens with the outro, basically it repeats and fades out. If you want to give a solid ending, just end on the A. So I'll play just a repeat between, but it does at least 4. So I'll just play 2. So this is the outro to speed. And that's the song. So as always, I always put the order of your sections at the end. Now, the reason why I do that is when people are limited with playing time, practice time, they can just do one section. So it's always very clear, the order that I give, the sections, how many times you repeat. So then you can just focus, go, I'm just going to work on the verse today and get that up to speed, and then go to the pre-chorus, chorus, etc. So these are big songs, but they're certainly worth the challenge. It's helping you understand the key signatures as well. So I am looking at doing some theory lessons and possibly membership. So I'm looking into that right now. I do teach full time, so it's finding the time. But yeah, so certainly any comments about that, if that's something like making arrangements, how to write songs, how to make, say, for instance, a piece of music that's hard, make it simpler, or the other way around, a basic piece of music that you may have and then want to then do, a more complicated version. So writing arrangements is easier than what people think. if you understand keys. So key signatures, circular fifths, all those type of things are something that I teach all the time. So if you think I should be doing it on my YouTube channel, please make a comment. Thanks for subscribing. Have fun with it. Absolute fantastic song, one of my favorites. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.